Time for another Coffee with Kilroy, or what I sometimes call beverage in a book. Well, my beverage, it's coffee. I hope you are taking this time to enjoy a beverage of your choice. Today, the book is a book game. I've covered a couple of these. Actually, I've covered several from Worthington. This is the latest from Worthington Publishing. But I've covered war game books quite extensively over the last 2 to 3 years. And I'll put a link to some of my coverage of war game books in the Worthington books in the description, so you can catch up on that if you would like. Plus, I have a whole playlist down below that talks about war game books and game books. Game books being books that have a game in them, but they're not necessarily a war game. Today, we are looking at B17 Solitaire, an original book game by Mike Wiley, Sean Cook, and Grant Wiley. Book game requires a die, a pen, and a sense of adventure to play. And this is published by Worthington Publishing. I picked this up because I'm a sucker for war game books. And I like them. I like the solitaire nature of them and the portability and just, being able to kind of immerse yourself into a game without having, necessarily a lot of setup and a lot of components. Now, some war game books are a little bit of a do-it-yourself, like the Minden games and some of the other air games that are out there. You have to, if you really want to get into it, you need to make some counters, or you want to pull the maps out or laminate them or what have you. These are Worthington books are relatively self-contained. They're a pen and pencil type game, as it says right here. Get a die, a pen, and a sense of adventure. But if you want to replay these, if you just don't want to write in the book, which to me that's sacrilege, I can't write in a book. Then you might want to, make copies or laminate or come up with some other ways to preserve the pages so you can replay them. But enough of that. B17 Solitaire. Let's take a look at the back here and see what we're looking at here. This might look somewhat familiar in that this looks a little bit like one of the boards that you got in the old B17 Queen of the Skies, which was kind of the granddaddy or grandmother of the what I call charty war games where you're rolling, you're checking something on a chart, you're seeing what the action is. You might have some decisions, but it's more of a narrative driven. You're mainly seeing where this takes you, as opposed to you driving the action, and you're kind of at the whim or chaos or randomness of the charts. And so I call those charty war games. This one looks like it's taking the charty, that kind of B-17 charty war game, and putting it into a roll and write. You're still going to be rolling and checking charts, but you're going to be marking off damage on your plane based on the result of that. So here is the back. Let's get a sip and then get a little bit deeper dive into this. As we page through this, let me go in a little bit closer here. You can see here, prepare to face the infamous German Luftwaffe Messerschmitt 109s and relentless German flak as you head towards a target in B-17 Solitaire. Command an American B-17 Flying Fortress bomber during the 1942-44 bombing campaigns of World War II. Your B-17 missions will take you to various locations in Europe during the war. From the skies of France to the heart of Germany, your plane and crew will face bad weather, chance circumstances, Axis air defenses, and fighter planes determined to stop your bombing missions. The Axis forces are an autonomous artificial intelligence AI bot player. The goal is to earn victory points from successful bombing runs and down enemy fighters, all while keeping your crew safe. The Axis forces have stacked the deck against you. Still, success and survival can be achieved with careful planning, good flying, and keeping the target in sight. Good luck. And you're going to see an example here of some of the, as you can see, this is going to be 2 pages. Worthington games are typically 2 pages. This is the bottom part of the top page, which is going to be kind of your flight map and showing what kind of encounters you're going to engage in. this is the result of your bombing run, and then this is like your victory points and how much damage and stuff you get from which target you pick to go at. The bottom page is going to be your plane with all the flak incoming, fighter attacks, keeping track of what's going on with the plane, chance hazards, and a mission log after the plane. So you can kind of as in B-17 Queen of the Skies, you wanted to get 25 safe missions, a la Memphis Belle, which, by the way, I could turn this into a Kilroy Goes to the Movies, but highly recommend Memphis Belle. Take a look at that film if you're interested in B-17 and flying. It's a good movie, historically accurate. Well, who knows, but it's really about the narrative of the crew. It's a really good movie. So you might keep your mission log so you can kind of see how your crew progresses, and there'll be a crew chart up here when we get in. So with all that, let's get into this and see what we have here. So you've got, and it goes landscape in the book, so you can get, you can flip the pages and get a better view and get a little bit more surface space on your missions and your games. Here is book 1 missions, book 2 missions. It's interesting. And so you got 44 pages. So you got 30 missions here. That's quite a few missions to play. So here's your rules introduction. And this is this map where you're going to be flying. There's that chart to keep track of your crew or the history of your crew. Here's your objectives, as you can see here, how many victory points you get. So you have some decisions here on where you're going to bomb and how you want to plot your mission. And here's your plotting the mission down here. There's some examples in here. Excuse me, I have been fighting a cough lately. So the on your flight map, you're going to have different icons on there. Like if you have this gray triangle, there's going to be a weather. So you got to, I think, roll for weather. There's a chance encounter that could happen. Flak is the bottom number, and the red is the black number. The top red number is the fighter. So each space is going to show some of the encounters that you have to deal with, whether it's weather, chance encounters, flak, or fighters. Here's marking off, what's going on with your plane and the different time of damage. And then you got your bombing results as well. There's some stuff to remember here. Here's a plotting a course to ruin as a bombing mission or as a target. And there you have it. So there's about 5 pages of rules. So not that many pages of rules, plus there's some examples of play and some examples in there as well. Then you have your mission. So this is the flight map where you're going to figure out where you're going to take off and bomb and then go home. So a complete mission is a loop. Here's you keep track of all your different crew members. Here's the different missions. You've got 3 missions here on which one you want to go for. And they have varying victory points. You've got your bombing run result and kind of how you did on the mission. So there's some kind of a strategic map there. Then you've got your plane map, which is where you're going to keep track of what's going on with your different crew members and damage to the plane. Flak incoming, fighter attack here, and chance hazards here. And then you got your mission log there. So, and each of these missions will be different. You'll have a different targets up here, and these, flak and fighters and chance encounters are going to be different for pretty much each mission. And then you're going to, going to be different for each mission up here. As you can see, let's do the page back a second there. So as you can see there, some different targets there. These are a little bit further out. And again, you got to go there and come back and plot your course. So there you have it. And this is St. Nazaire is 10 victory points. So this is these I think are pretty much the same. A lot of these your plane charts, but I think these mission charts is where the variety and difference are really going to come in the game there. As you can see that there. So there you have it. And there's like 30 of these in here. So I'm not going to page through every single one of them, but you get a feel for all the different variety. So mission 26. And so you'll probably want to make a copy of this and laminate it. And then as you want to play these, you want to make different copies of this, or put a sheet over this to make sure you can write on that and not mark up the book. It's all nicely laid out. There's clear, it's color. And to me, it looks relatively intuitive. Sorry, time for coffee. It looks relatively intuitive on what you're doing here, and if you've played, B-17 or any of the other charty air games, this might just jump right in as something that doesn't look too complicated to get into. So there you have it. That is what you get in a book of B-17 Solitaire. So if you want something if you want to play B-17 Queen of the Skies or any of those other, golly, more coffee, charty games, but you don't want to have the space of taking all the charts and counters around, this might be an alternative to that. So there you have it. Let me see if I got Memphis Belle. Welp, I don't. I thought I had it. I know I've seen it several times. I probably have it. Oh, I know. I probably have it on VHS. Yes, that dates me just a bit. And I probably got rid of most of my VHS tapes. So there you have it. B-17 Solitaire by Worthington. Check it out. But also, I highly recommend in the background while you're playing B-17 Solitaire, have Memphis Belle playing in the background. Very young cast of actors that went on to other things, but a pretty good ensemble cast, and has Harry Connick Jr., so if you want to get some singing in. Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching.